So let's look more closely now at the Trump administration's claim that this week's ICE raids failed because the local media in Colorado leaked the operation. You may recall that multiple national media outlets reported that these raids were supposed to happen last Thursday. That operation was apparently pushed back after it became widely known ahead of the fact. Our Evan Krugel's along now to explain that when these raids did happen, Evan, federal agents had Fox News along for the ride, and this was a pretty conspicuous parade around town.
It was, Kyle. It's worth noting ICE did very little to hide or disguise those operations yesterday. We got multiple calls from community members who saw them staging in a large parking lot in southeast Denver. So we showed up and decided to follow at a distance as they made their way up I-25 to Thornton. It was clear even before sunrise Wednesday that ICE operations were underway. Agents gathered with buses and armored vehicles in high-traffic retail parking lots, including one in southeast Denver, where a photojournalist and I found a convoy and followed it more than 20 miles down I-25 to Thornton, where officers spent another hour prepping an armored vehicle as a cable news channel tagged along for the ride. It didn't take long for people to see them and for activists to show up at the park.
And what is happening with President Donald Trump is that he is, and his administration is, creating a spectacle.
Kareem El-Damanhouri is a journalism professor at DU and says he was not surprised to see such a visible operation and to see select national media invited along to showcase it. He says look no further than President Trump's campaign promise in October to target Colorado.
We will have an Operation Aurora at the federal level.
NBC reported the operation was supposed to start last week, but it was pushed back after the plans became public.
The operation was leaked. And again, we're going to hold those people accountable once we find out what those leaks occurred. This isn't a game.
Border Czar Tom Homan said Wednesday's operation was less successful because of supposed leaks.
We may have to stop the media ride-alongs because I'm not pointing the finger at them, but the less people that know about these operations, the safer it is for our agents.
Some leaks can be harmful to certain operations, some leaks aren't. So it's just a matter of social responsibility in a way, both by the politicians and by the media. So it applies both ways.
El-Damanhouri says journalists will play an important role in the weeks to come as we wait to find out how many people were actually arrested and why.
People tend to forget, or certain things tend to dissipate. So this is, again, role of the journalists to try to follow up on those type of stories and find out, what has been going on, what are the updates of people who might have been caught up in the midst of that.
To be clear, we as an organization are not accepting any invitations for ride-alongs with immigration officials at this time. We will, however, continue to respond and report on what we see at those operations. Kyle.
Another thing that I heard today on Fox News was surprise that when the immigration agents got to some of these infamous apartments in Aurora, that they were largely empty. I mean, we've been talking about in the local media for months now that a lot of people have moved out of those problematic apartments. That's been going on for some time.
Yeah, the Edge at Lowry, Whispering Pines, these were pretty obvious places for operations to begin. We still don't know why they made their way to Thornton to that mobile home park. You heard Fox News. They had some information from ICE on who they were going after there. We repeatedly pressed ICE for that information today and did not get it, Kyle. That will be a big story here. Who gets information moving forward and when?
Yep, because at the end of the day, public wants to know what's going on, right?
Yep.
That's the end of the story. All right, Evan Krugel, thank you.